Hey there, welcome to the James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. This may have happened to you, and I'm looking for your advice. I mean, you can call in if you want, if you know how to deal with the neighbor's dog that barks, or you can send me an email, james@wbap.com, Facebook message, however you want to get me some help. Let me just tell you my situation, because I've never had to really deal with this before, and I don't know how to deal with it now. That's for damn sure. First off, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, so if the neighbor's dog barked, you couldn't hear it. I mean, it was disappearing over the horizon as it is. And then luckily, in adulthood, I've pretty much gone from apartment to apartment, and then I've only bought 2 houses. And I didn't have a dog problem at my last house, but this house, I've only been there about 3 years. Now we have a dog problem. It's 3 a.m. You already guessed it. This. So I'm trying to sleep, and beautiful redhead wife is next to me, Miss Parker. And our bedroom next to that is the fence. There's like maybe a little 3-foot servitude. And I'm going to leave the dog barking in the background just to let you know how damn annoying it is to have to listen to this when you don't want to. So we're trying to go to sleep, and this dog wakes me up. I mean, 3 feet outside of my window, there's a privacy fence, just your regular wood panels, and a big fat Labrador just doing this. And it felt like, you just ignore it, and sometimes you can go to sleep. You can just ignore it, and sometimes the dog stops. But for some reason, on Saturday, the dog wasn't stopping. And after what felt like about an hour, I went back there and I shushed him. So the dog stopped. I go back inside, immediately starts barking again. Oh, my goodness. So I go back out there, and this time, instead of just shushing him, I grab a little rock, and I stand up on this stump that's next to our fence. We have stumps there to keep the dogs from digging. And when the dog sees me, immediately stops. I'm like, well, crap, now I can't hit you with the rock. But the dog runs away to the middle of the yard, and I'm not that accurate anyway. So I'm like, what am I going to do? He already stopped barking. Am I still going to throw the rock? So I just kind of threw a warning shot at the dog. I didn't do like a Nolan Ryan fastball or anything. It just hadn't escalated that far yet. But the dog seemed to have stopped. Cool. I go back inside. 2 minutes later. Oh, damn it. Now, here's the question. I'm not saying I did this. I'm not saying... No, I'm not... This isn't like me recalling from memory what happened. This is just purely a hypothetical, I promise. Is it illegal to cut open a hot dog and put 2 Benadryls in there and then chuck it over your neighbor's fence? I'm just asking for a friend. That's all. I'm not saying... I'm not admitting to anything. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, legal friends out there. And I'm not drugging the dog. I'm not like trying to kill it. I'm not trying to harm it. I'm not trying to cause it any pain or discomfort or anything like that. I'm really concerned about the dog's sinuses. I mean, hypothetically, I could just be concerned about the dog's sinuses. It's allergy season. Maybe I'm concerned about the lab. Maybe it's sensitive to ragweed or something. So I'm not saying I did that. But I'm just saying, like, if you do, and you've already thrown a rock at a dog, that might explain why the dog could hypothetically be, maybe it's just too suspicious to eat it or whatever. But I watched it. I was like, you may or may not get really disappointed if the dog doesn't immediately eat the hot dog. It's so stupid, but it's not real. It certainly didn't happen. So I go back inside, and hypothetically speaking, I hope the dog eats the pretend hot dog, and everything seems to be going so well. Did it work? Oh, damn it. No, it didn't work. It's still going on. So now I actually look at the clock. It's 3:41. Oh, yeah. I've been at this for an hour, and it's 3:41. So this has been going on since like 2:30 or so. So now I can't go out there and just constantly chuck rocks or bricks or anything into my neighbor's backyard to get the dog to shut up. The neighbors get suspicious when their yard's full of litter. So what could you throw at a dog that would leave no evidence, that still has a little bit of weight, a little mass behind it, so you can kind of get some speed on it? Got an idea. Oh, sometimes my brain works even at 3:41 in the morning. What if you go into the freezer, and then hypothetically speaking, if you like bourbon and you get those big chunks of ice, those big ice balls, big ice cubes, giant ones that you use for bourbon, well, what if you got those out, maybe chunked them at the dog? Ooh, it's not to hurt the dog. It's just to make the dog cower and go away and stop screaming. Whether it works or not, the ice melts harmlessly into water, absorbed into the ground. No evidence. So I may or may not have gotten up on that stump again over the privacy fence and started zinging just Nolan Ryan fastballs at this dog. Made contact twice. Don't feel bad for the dog. This dog's huge. This is like a 90-pound giant Labrador. I didn't hurt the dog. But eventually, you make contact a couple times and you have some near misses. The dog's like, hey, what's the problem? I can't bark for 2 hours in the middle of the night? God, guess I'll just go sulk over here on my back porch. That kind of worked. Any better ideas? Because I can't keep doing this. I'm not going to have ice on standby so I could chuck them at the neighbor's barking dog. Because after an hour or so, I get so mad. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to go knock on his door? Hey, Johnny. That's my neighbor's name. Hey, Johnny, if your dog's going to keep me awake, you're going to be awake. You need to go shut that dog up. But no, you can't do that. You can't go over to your neighbor's house at 3:41 in the morning. Hey, will you shut your dog up? Do I get my neighbor's cell phone and text him and wake him up in the middle of the night to go shut up the dog? Do I give him a call? What if he turns his phone on silent? Then what do I do? Do I go knock on the door? Like, how do you handle this? I can't go get that tranquilizer gun from old school. Let's take down a rhino at 500 yards or whatever. Wait, you got a dart in your neck. You remember that part? If I get one of those darts, how would I retrieve it? I'm not against shooting the dog with a dart. I just don't know how to get my evidence out without having to do burglary, basically. So... see, and then here we have a reasonable caller, it looks like. John from Fort Worth, what should I do to handle my neighbor's dog?
Hi, James. John Carroll in Fort Worth. I have had the same situation next door in that first, the process is you go next door and you talk to the neighbor about it and just politely say that if you can't resolve the problem, then I have no other recourse but to call animal control. And then if they don't handle the situation, you call animal control. Animal control will come out and knock on their door, talk to them about it, and give them a warning. And then if it happens again, you call. And just like you've got the recording, you give the recording to the animal control and the time stamp on it, and they will issue a citation.
That sounds so reasonable and so mature and so adult. I don't think I can do it, John.
I know I had to refrain from the same situation, but that's the only recourse you have. Otherwise, you get in trouble for cruelty to animal, and they can report you for that. So I'm just thinking on your behalf, sir, that the best thing to do is confront the neighbor, and then if they can't resolve it, then call animal control and let them handle it.
Sounds like good advice. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you, John in Fort Worth. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
But I didn't ask. Wait, John, did you try the Benadryl on a hot dog?
No, I went down to the local pet store and bought one of these things that was a sound device that you put on the side of the house. And when the dog started barking, it would just go off like a siren.
Oh, man, you should lead with that. I love that. I'll look into that. That's good advice, too. Thank you, John in Fort Worth. I am not a dog abuser. No, what was your name over here on Facebook? Melinda. I did not throw baseballs at the dog. I threw ice cubes at the dog. And we're talking about a giant, fat, 90-pound Labrador. It might be more than 100 pounds. This is a huge Labrador. Okay? And so from 15 yards away, if I have to lob an ice cube at the dog, it doesn't hurt it at all. It just annoys it a little bit. I'm not a dog abuser. Sorry you so just rapidly misunderstood my story there. But baseball? Seriously, I don't even own any baseballs. So no, I was not throwing. And she said, oh my God, let me catch somebody throwing a baseball at my lab. I don't throw baseballs at dogs, okay? I'm not a monster. And then there's someone else on Facebook. What was that other comment? This is Kara. Kara says, this guy made fun of a woman with a cancer port, and now he's talking about abusing a dog. Okay, first off, I've never made fun of any woman for having a cancer port. I would never make fun of anyone with a cancer port. Cancer, if you have a cancer port, you're fighting for your life. I am not a monster that would, oh, look at this person dying slowly. Seriously, what am I, a demon? I don't abuse dogs. I don't make fun of cancer ports and cancer people. Can you guys stop so just viciously misunderstanding what I'm saying? And I'm supposed to be a professional communicator, so I realize some of this is my fault. Maybe I have to do a better job explaining myself or be a little more clear. But those are some really ridiculous misunderstandings that if two people came away with that story, something wrong, I wanted to fix that for everybody. No, I do not abuse dogs. I would never abuse dogs. Stop it. I think people just love getting sensitive about stuff.